One thing that most people don't know about me is that I'm a car guy at heart. Love muscle cars, love old cars. I've had the pleasure of owning a few throughout my life, primarily Mustangs. As I grew up, you were either a Mustang or a Camaro fan, and so I chose the Mustang side. I've owned several old ones. Those vehicles are absolutely wonderful to drive. However, as you get older, you learn that they're not the funnest thing in the world to work on. The most recent one that I owned, I decided to sell it and buy a new 2012 Mustang just for ease of driving and just road safety primarily. The horsepower that these vehicles are putting out now, it simply brings back your teenage, your youth, to just get in the car and hop in it, roll the windows down and just drive.
Steve Hartline grew up near Grayson Valley, Alabama, the son of an Alabama Highway Department engineer. Immediately after graduating high school in 1984, he embarked on what would become a long and fruitful career at the bank.
I started work at the bank 32 years ago in the warehouse as a supply distribution associate. At that time we had approximately 60 some odd banks in the state, and we've grown quite a bit since then.
In his current role as procurement administrator for the company store, Steve has an extensive customer base within the bank, throughout every line of business and every geography.
We'll do somewhere in the neighborhood of 125,000 requisitions and purchase orders in a year, and that covers a lot of the different more commoditized supplies. But Steve does really the unique, the one-off things that he gets involved with a lot of the area marketing people, and he tries to customize that. He goes through and looks at that as if he were buying it for himself. Everything he does, he wants to put his sort of stamp of approval on it.
One of the primary roles of my position is support of the area marketing managers as well as other lines of business throughout the bank, and to ensure that they get products to utilize during open houses, grand openings, events of that nature.
Steve and I work very closely together to ensure that whatever products we offer through the company store are branded properly, and that's a huge thing. And he's the kind of person that I like to work with, because if he says it's going to get done, it's going to get done. So something unique that Steve and I work on together is the bike. There are a lot of components to the bike that are specific to the region's bike. Steve knows all these components, and what I don't have to do is worry about, because he's so thorough and so good at what he does, I don't have to worry about that these components are done properly.
Steve's got the opportunity to interact with almost any associate here at Regions for any activity, for any type of item that they would need. And you know what I know about Steve is that when that phone call comes, is that he's able to interact with them in a way that solves their problem, that gives them confidence that the problem is going to be solved and is done in the most efficient way possible.
The magic in the way he does his business is several things. Is one, what you see is what you get. He's not trying to be something he's not. Number two is he is very passionate about doing the best possible job he can do. Number three, he's not doing it for the recognition. I can assure you of that. He's doing it to truly try to help Regions accomplish our goals and objectives.
He's a great associate. He loves what he does. He's passionate about the job that he does here. He's passionate about this bank, and he's passionate about its success. And when he sees things that seem like they're not going the way that they should, sometimes he's right? And he's got the courage to bring that up and raise that up. And we need more associates like that who are willing to raise their hand and ask the tough question, are we doing the right thing? Or should we be doing it better? Or should we be doing it differently? And he really embraces that, and it's it's encouraging for me as a manager to see that in the organization, and gives me a lot of hope for the future for the company.
When he works with me, he is working with me, and he is trying to find better ideas or new ways to do things, or faster ways, or more inexpensive ways to do things that really help me out. And that doesn't necessarily come from being told how to do your job. That's just doing your job and doing it well.
He really takes pride in everything, and I wouldn't say it's competitive though, because that's not his personality or his spirit. For instance, the Junior Achievement Bowl-a-thon, for example. He's raised more money than any other team, so he's caused procurement to raise more money than any other team. So that's just an example. He does it quietly, without fanfare, without the expectation of any recognition.
It's people like him that make this company special. It's people like him. He truly lives the values every day. He truly cares about what's important, and he really believes and he puts people first. That's the people he does business with, and I think that's probably why he was probably recognized by the people that he works with and for every day. He's just a very quiet but a very really strong, great associate and partner.
Steve Hartline's commitment to quality can be seen in most anything that bears the region's logo, and his influence reaches into every corner of the bank. And though Steve himself prefers to remain out of the limelight and work behind the scenes, his fan club is as large as his customer base.
In my eyes, there is only one way to service a customer, and that is to ensure that whatever they need is there when they need it. Knowing that we've provided that level of service and taken care of whatever issue they may have called for is gratifying, and knowing that we can be counted on again in the future should they need that service again.